Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Rao. Uh, Come and going to present my day 4 on this new series, One Tip a Day on Wellness, right? I thought that would be interesting and easily consumable and small bite of tips on wellness, right? Many of you know all these tips, but I just want to engage you in discussing this kind of simple tips. We started this 4 days ago. We started with gratitude, and the next one was on deep breathing, and yesterday it was on hydration. Not only the medical and colloquial wisdom they are there, but also I bring in something ancient wisdom, right? The gratitude, for example, I said having taken birth as a human being is something we should be grateful about, because we as human beings we have an intelligence that can really reflect on our life and also turn inward and find the diamond within. That is the privilege of being a human being. That's my personal experience and viewpoint. But it's not that if people don't find that there's something inferior. It's not that. It is just that we have the privilege. If you care for it, you can always do that. Okay, that's what I mean. I certainly feel like that. That's why whenever a birthday comes, or when I wish somebody, I kind of give them that perspective. And many people really appreciated that, because they innately feel that. The second day, of course, deep breathing, we always talk about, but how the deep breathing is connected to the thinking and reduction of stress, I talked about. And you can go back and listen to the replays if you wish. And yesterday we did about hydration, which is also very fundamental, right? So altogether, I plan to do a 60-day stunt. Okay, 5 days a week on weekdays for the next 3 months. So I already have the tips ready, and I will be expanding on them as we go along. We can talk about deep breathing for 3 months if you want to, but I don't want to do that. I just wanted to give the important way to get up in the morning, do the first thing, and then I also showed some methods that you could do, and then you can do it during the day, every 1 hour, 1 minute, and in the evening when you come home, and weekend also. There are so many sessions I do with the wellness club in the morning. I kind of show 10 to 15 different breathing exercises, apart from the asanas and meditation that we do. So I kind of showed the variety. Hydration, especially how the yogis used to use copper metal bottles, and how you can measure them now, because there's measurements on the water bottles. And we also talked about what is the water logging, what is the dehydration and elderly. How do you take fruits and avoid hydration in peak summer? Some of those personal experiences, some of the tidbits, and some of those as a physician, my experiences with the patient, I talked about it, just to help people to get some idea about some of the situations they may not be contemplating, and they could be ready for them. Okay, so this is about what I talk about proactively being well. That means you are not going to wait for the disease to manifest, but you want to detect the origins of the illnesses right before they appear, and then take proactive action. Okay, that's the idea of this proactive wellness thing I'm talking about. Okay, um, those are old days when you're going for a preventive exam. Now you got to be intelligent enough to know your history and your family history and your country that you are staying in, and everything around it, and knowing what is our modern breakthroughs, what is our modern things that are coming through, and also what is the ancient people say about these things, and then open up for that. Okay, So these are kind of important uh, areas that you want to have a insight, and then work accordingly, right? So today is day 4. So we're going to go through nurturing with the nature. Basically, having fruits and vegetables with at least one serving with each meal. If you can do that, that's a really, really important thing. What you want to do is you want to always have a diversity in what you eat, like all multiple colors of vegetables and fruits and all that. Got each color has got something that is useful for you. Copain is something in red vegetables that has a very cardioprotective action, like that. You can go on that, but it's not important to remember each vegetable or fruits what it is bring, but you just want to mix up all the colors when you shop. Okay, and always start with a breakfast where fruits and vegetables are important in your breakfast. That is something is easy with the cereal, with spinach, or omelets, and then vegetable smoothie. So many ways people do these things. Okay, you can do all of that. And also, number 3 is you want to be snack smart. That means all the snacks that you are having, kind of, cut out vegetables or ice cream mixed with the fruit, things like that. Okay. And then when you create lunches and dinners, at least one vegetable, in your lunch and dinner, one fruit. It's a very good thing to start the fruit first and then vegetables and all that. Okay, and you can modify the recipes with so many ways, right? um, See, include more vegetables. For example, add zucchini grounded, and carrots, to packs of lunches and sauces or muffins, all those things. People can do that. A lot of people do that. Okay, so it's just being inventive about how we can do all these different snacks. Okay, and then you can modify all your recipes, and then basically plan your meals. If you can plan your meals such a way that you have started with the fruit and mix a lot of vegetables, so even with your eating meat and all that, so that's very, very important. So I have several people I have seen asking me for suggestions and all that, which I have provided. Basically, they can have people who are software engineers came to me, and then just adding blueberries or sliced bananas in the morning yogurt. That's a lot of people like that. They can carry that to the workspace and all that. Then some people can have a teacher. She came to me one time. She adds lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, and all that to the turkey sandwich, because we have this sandwich place which is very famous because they make everything fresh. So they make vegetable and the non-vegetarian sandwich, right? We took a vegetable sandwich, and then they were very good. Freshly made bread, freshly bred ingredients, and you go and stand in the line, and then they kind of ask your preference, and they make the sandwich right in front of you, give it to you. So that kind of thing. The teacher was very helpful, and that she also very appreciative of what we told her to do. And then varieties in dinner, like you don't have to go only one particular place. You can change that and talk to the chef, and they make your sandwiches full of vegetables and fruits. Um, there is a reason why I'm talking about vegetables, and this it is from ancient times. People recommended juicy fruits that are natural, nutritious fruits that they recommended, because the energies that you get by eating vegetables and fruits is called sattvic energy. And that energy is very conducive to spiritual practices like meditation, like keeping silent and being non-violent and all that, you know. So very important to maintain that energy to go into the deeper subtleties of your spiritual inquiries, spiritual practices. So that's why it's important to. You can always replace snacks with, take a cup and cut out the carrots, celery sticks, and all, put it there, and then go and take a nice yogurt or something and dip it and eat it. All those choices we can make, you know. This recommendation for the diet has been there for ages, right? Even in that famous book Bhagavad Gita, Hindu Bible, like, you know, that book. In that also they mention about what is the diet should be is juicy, nutritious fruits. You know, so lot of the way they look at yoga people, they look at it is we are killing animals and then we are really eating after they're dead and the putrefying thing, which is not good for us. Whereas if you take the vegetables and like Indians, they make curries, you are killing vegetables and fruits and then eating them, really having no nutritious value. Okay, so that was their personal opinion. I think that's why they plucked everything fresh from the trees and then they kind of ate them raw vegetables, raw fruits. Maybe we are not going to be really, um, you know, can tolerate raw all the time. So we can have some steamed or boiled and all that thing. So, but multiple colors, imagination about preparing in different breakfast, dinner, lunch, and all that, and making them ready-made available as snacks instead of artificial cakes or all those creamy ones. You can have fruits that are seasonal, and that's very good. In India, we used to crave for the mangoes. Every summer comes, we used to crave because we used to get good. We have plenty of sun but plenty of mangoes too. So we were really happy. One type of mango was you can cut like a cake. Okay, they go like that. Then you can take one half of each of the mango, and then that put a full spoon and then eat the mango from there. Other variety is called juicy fruits, rasalu. Rasam means it only produces all the juicy thing. So they used to juice it, and not with the hand. They used to mix it, and then make it in a cup and give you a spoon. And that's kind of thick juice, but it's very, very delicious. And the combination was yogurt, rice, and the mango. That was unbeatable. So there are variety of pickles and all that. But I'm interested in how close we can be with the nature, how we understand our nutritional needs according to the season, how seasonal fruits and vegetables are really helping us in that direction, in that way of replenishing our body what is needed for the hot summer or cold winter, something like that. It's very, very important to understand the plants really store everything according to the nature. And so, if you go and drink coconut water versus some Coca-Cola, is much better for you, right? It's common sense. But then our taste is so corrupted, we go for the artificial sweetness, artificial chemicals, and all that, and then we get hooked up. People hooked up on coffee, hooked up on the all these caffeinated drinks. They're not good. So nurture yourself with nature. That's the theme of today. So good nutrition, everybody knows, but good natural nutrition, that's what I'm insisting, because there's so many deeper reasons, even the subtleties of complicated matters you want to explore, anything, mathematics, spirituality, philosophy, or anything. You need a mind that is clear and that is really here and now. And also, it can handle long hours of deep discussions on very subtle matters. We are developing a culture where everything is kind of minimized and small. But if you really want to go ahead in your spiritual quest and you want to explore this sattvic diet, where fruits and vegetables take a top seat on that. Okay? Because I know about that spiritual quest and what we should be using, what we should be eating or not eating, how that helped the energies, how that helped us sleep better, how that helped us have a lot of what's called rajasic qualities, like fighting and competing, and all those things are not there. Okay, nurturing ourselves with the nature in modern ages. For the breakfast, have some blueberries with oatmeal. Any of the fruits. That is what I do all the time. And for lunch, it carries some snacks, healthy snacks, fruit cuttings or vegetable cuttings, or smoothies that you can make at your office. All those things. For the dinner, eat light. Eat mostly first vegetables and fruits, and then go to other things. That kind of commonsensical arrangement would be very good. Where the emphasis is good nutrition, but also according to the nature. Don't cook it too much, and don't put all the artificial ingredients too much, like oil and salt and all that. And eat them, with the nature, which will provide you enough nutrients and also enough trust for what you need for the season. Okay. So these are short and sweet days I'm going to spend with you, where I'm going to present this kind of short tidbits of wellness tip, one per day, and up to 60 days. Today is the fourth day. First three were done. If you want, you can go and listen to the replays. Sometimes they will go deeper, but mostly I want to keep it simple and easy. And then invite discussion, invite other people to come and tell me about what they think about this kind of nutrition. My friends in the early time, when they don't know me, where I was always going for salads, both fruits and vegetables, and then some nuts and all that. They kind of made fun of me. You are eating grass, doc. How are you going to be strong enough? But then they found out I am very energetic even at the end of the day. Then ask her, how come you have so much energy after eating the grass? I mean, they were close to me. They were good friends. That's why they were making fun of me by saying grass. So I know that. But then they were always raised with that. Unless you eat meat, you cannot have protein, you cannot have energy, you cannot have all that. That's a total misconception. So everybody knows I don't want to kill animals. That is there, but that's not religion. That's just a love for the animals. And also, a lot of problems with meat eating, cancer, and all that, right? But ancient wisdom, that's where if you go, they will tell you, eat nutritious, juicy fruit, and then the vegetables. Even now we say organically grown vegetables and fruits first. Don't even cook them much. Try to use as much raw as possible, right? That way you won't lose the nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and all that are there in fresh vegetables. And um, I talked about several times. Have your own little garden, either in the apartment or if you have a backyard, and also have your own compost, and so that the compost will become the fertilizer without any chemicals and artificial fertilizer that will add up to the organic quality of your fruits and vegetables. And do it with a few neighbors so that you can share the land and grow the vegetables, and then share the produce. So that is working in some neighborhoods where they don't have supermarkets. But a lot of rich neighborhoods that I have seen, even in our backyard, many people do a small, these people are pretty rich, but still they do a small piece of land with vegetables. That's very, very heartening to see. Uh, and also how you prepare, how you allow people to prepare. That's also important. Usually, mom's cooking is very good because she does it with a lot of love. So put into that kind of love and energy into the preparation of the food, and then consume them sitting down, appreciating food, thanking the food because it is sustains you, and also because it is giving its life to protect your life. That's why you should be grateful for that too. There are so many other things connected with the food, whatever, but basically enjoy, savor your food, and take your time to chew and eat with people, but eat in silence, that kind of thing. All this we talked about, but basically pay attention to nature, what kind of fruits you are growing, what kind of things that you are using to grow the food. If you can eliminate all these chemicals, fertilizers, you can eliminate a lot of cancer for the illnesses. One of them is cancer. Other things is deficiencies because some of the fruits and vegetables don't have the nutritional vitality. That's right. And then also after you prepare the food, eat it within 45 minutes of preparation of that. You remember that pan to plate. That's what we want to employ here. So uh, any number of tidbits will come to my mind. But these are some of this. Natural and nutrition, and also light but full of energy. That is the formula for me. Fruits and also vegetables, and some of the Indian preparations with herbs. So there was a time when they don't have refrigeration, and there are all cultures really uh, uh, developed some not recipes, I'm sorry, recipes that are used fermentation as a means. And that fermentation really resulted in a lot of good microbiome for these human beings who use that. Even now, those recipes are very popular. The pulihora and the dojem, all that, right? Common food, easy to make, rice and yogurt and that one. Another one is rice and tamarind and all the cheese and all that. These are some of the most favorite foods even now. If you go to any temple in India, they will serve this too very easily. That kind of inherent wisdom in cultures that is passed down from generation to generation. Then you can analyze them, and then see one particular thing I noted was I was in Chicago, just came to country, and 81 I think, and I came here. 83 or 84 I was in this hospital, and they showed me this one book written on the one of the Indian recipes that they make, what's called more like a preparation with pulses, right? And very proteinous and non-vegetarian. It's not non-vegetarian, it's vegetarian. Okay, it's a vegetarian, and then it has all the ingredients, all the herbs, right? What is remarkable about that book is this much book on one recipe, and went through all the details of herbs, why they're making, what is the use, and all that scientifically. But we all eat from childhood, but we never knew all those things, right? So it was fascinating to me that people take that much interest, because in this country, by the time already they are fighting several illnesses, so much of the cancer, and they kind of explore other cultures. One of them is the Indian cuisine, and then they found out a lot of herbs that are using are protective. You know, that's how I came to know. So the culture is having that grandma to ma to daughter is getting transmitted, but they are doing the same recipe, but they don't know what is the value, why that is so, and but how it is protecting them. They're going by taste, but then that was there. So the quality of ingredients has gone down with the modernity, with the need of mass production of food, and using chemicals to enhance the mass production. I mean, they all evolved without really knowing what kind of harms they are going to do. So I'm kind of taking a look at that and really going back to natural nurturing. Nurturing ourselves with the nature means going to the basic fruits and vegetable diet and then making them as raw as possible, as many times as possible. At least start a meal with a fruit, with a vegetable, you know, and carry as a snack, you know, and plan your meals with having this multiple, you know. I think many people are doing that now, you know. So my reason just to confine myself to the vegetables and fruits and some nuts, you know, and a little bit of rice, maybe not all the time, but the yogurt, all these things, you know, basically, uh, if you want to go real subtle thinking, deeper understanding of ancient texts, ancient sayings, and all that, you need to have that kind of sharpness. Where if you eat a very heavy food and you know you feel sedated, you cannot be alert and pay attention to these things. You know, so this is something of a teaching that they warned about serious spiritual quest if you want to undertake. You don't have to undertake if you don't want it, but if you want to undertake, then quality of the ingredients of your diet is very important. Make it basically light and natural. That is fruits and vegetables. Okay, so all those arguments are there. I mean, there are so many examples I can give you where just because they conform to the natural diet, they don't have any deficiencies that I used to see as a child and later on also. It's a lot of issues. Vitamin B12 deficiency, vitamin A deficiency with eye problems, so vitamin D deficiency. A lot of things were there, but then had this combination of multicolored vegetables and fruits, they did much better. Okay, so that is the presentation. I can go on all these things because they are very fascinating to me even to this day. I study each plant and each vegetable and to see what is there that we would like to understand. And our nutritional colleagues, the nutritionists and dietitians, health coaches, they do a marvelous job. They go detail into all these things and then present to us. You know, mine is little bit more scientific, but then they go into each one much better, assigning to the patients and giving them ways that they could be palatable. So all those things are valuable services. Use them, you know, consult them and talk to the nutritionist. In that hospital, nutritionists were my great friends. You know, they're young girls, but then they were very enthusiastic about you know feeding people properly. We became friends, and then I came to know a lot of nutrition through them. But then, when I really paid attention to Ayurveda, they had much interesting things. You know, some messages here. And, okay, so Ayurveda had this concept of bioenergies, three types of bioenergies that are there in the food and also in our body, right? These bioenergies are classified like a dull, lazy, and inert, like the energy that's called tamasic energy, and uh, really very dynamic, running and activating, and there's too much of thought. That is the rajasic dynamite, right? You going to have a mixture of them. That's the sattvic, right? You know, it's not too dull or it's not too dynamic. I'm making it very, very simple, but there's a lot more in that, you know. So they termed what are called doshas. Combination of these qualities are there. The doshas, vata, pitta, kapha, doshas, you know. You can test yourself what kind of natural dosha combination you have. Usually, one of them will be dominant, but you may be having two of them together. And then, accordingly, the body fat distribution, the shape of your body, your appetite, your rapid thinking. So many things are related to this dosha. So once you understand the diet, which one is going to increase which dosha, and you can have a recipe for yourself that is agreeable to you. This now I'm fascinated by nutrigenomics, where according to that was according to the seed body. They said that the seed body means like what's the root of your coming, like a genes, right? Now the nutrigenomics is according to the genes, what kind of nutrition is appropriate. So it's okay, fascinating. Thousands of years ago, they said that way. And now with the genome, we are finding out what would be good diet for me based on my genome. At that, I'm very, very interested, and I have been studying of that, and I've been bringing it to my friends, whatever little I came to know about that. Okay, so it's a kind of understanding that. Okay, um, so you can take a quiz on what kind of doshas you have. I think so many online quizzes are available. They just ask you some simple questions. You can keep it to yourself, but you can know, okay, I'm vata dependent or vata dominant. Then you will be thinking faster. You'll be running to the bathroom so many times. You will be having awareness, appetite, and all that. Whereas if you are like a um, tamasic or vata pitta doshas, then you will be laid back, you are kind of sleepy, dull, alert, all those things. So you got to combine that. Like I said, the more I understood what are things I could do, the simple formula for me was stay with natural fruits and vegetables as much as possible and avoid processed food as much as possible. That worked very well for me, common sensically. I don't even have to know what kind of, but then once you end up in the sattvic, you can feel it. You are not irritated that easily. You are not going to shout that much. You are going to be here and now, and you're going to be not reacting that much, but responding to things. All these good qualities are there in the food that come to you, and then the more you are like that, and you are eating according to your cycle, your circadian rhythm, you kind of digest better, and eliminate the waste better, and all that. Okay. So that's about. I can go on this Ayurveda. I can go on the nutrigenomics and all that. So I hope you guys are interested in this. Let me know if you have any questions. I will be able to answer them. So we'll be continuing this series on this one tip a day wellness, and we can go as deep as you want or as superficial as you want, and I'll be learning new things as you are really uh, expanding them. So with the questions and your own experiences and all that. So thank you, and I'll be seeing you again tomorrow with another session of uh, one tip a day on wellness, and we will be discussing so many variety of topics. And I'm sure you are. I just want to make everybody aware and motivated about wellness, and especially proactively well. That means we can take actions now before we get sick and all the symptoms to be well for the long time. And so I want to live longer, well, and enjoy. Okay. Thank you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.